that moment of realization. That's very powerful. Now, a couple of things you said are I'm really interested in hearing more about. One was that link between the nervous system and the fact that something happened to your nervous system when you went to the chiropractor, and both of you had transformative life experiences from that. So let's share with our audience what it is that we do that makes it possible for people to have their nervous system do the job right. Let's talk about that.
Well, I think there's 3 key things that really help people understand the role that chiropractic has for a person's health. The first is that your spine houses your nerve system. Your brain, your spinal cord, the 12 miles of nerves that go out to every cell, tissue, and organ of your body, you live your life through it. You process your conscious reality, it makes your organs work, makes your body parts able to move. That's number 1. Taking care of your spine, not being about your back, but about your central nerve system. Number 2, that nerve system controls your cardiovascular system, your reproductive organs, your immune system, your body's ability to fight off anything, your immune capacity is coordinated by your nerve system. That's why it's encased in bone, because that central nerve system is so important and central to your body functioning right. And then the third thing is that every single person has an amazing, divine, inborn, innate capacity to heal and repair. And we forget about that in our medical care system. We forget that your body, or that's kind of dismissed or not paid attention to, that your body has an infinite capacity to heal. However, when there's changes to the integrity of your spine and nerve system, that inborn striving, that inborn capacity to heal can be compromised. And that interference is what affects the ability for us to live the life that we're destined to live, the level of health and well-being that we could possibly have. And it's a crime that that happens, that people don't necessarily know that their well-being is being stripped from them.
What you said is so important. It is so fundamentally important that I want to spend a little more time on that, because this is a life-changing concept that enables people to see chiropractors to really have these experiences of rejuvenation, of return to health when they have, sometimes suffered for a long time, or bring their babies to the chiropractor so that they never have to experience any of that, which is, the routine experience we have. So let's just go over this again, because it's so important. That connection, that existence of that inborn innate intelligence that the body has, that we all have, we're all made so well, so our potential is infinite, as you said. And the nervous system and the expression of health and what it creates interference to that unfolding.
I feel like I was 19 years too late for my first adjustment. And you talk about children, and I think that's so important, because children who get chiropractic care are just so much healthier than any other children. We have 2 children ourselves. Daniel is 10 and Annika is 7. And they are so healthy, vibrant, and full of life. So much more so than their friends or, the other children in our community. And so it's just so important for kids from the time they're born, because birth stress is huge. Even if it's a normal, healthy birth, it puts a lot of stress and strain on a baby's spine. And there's no bigger gift than when a parent brings their newborn baby in to get adjusted, because from day one that baby's spine and nervous system and their whole body is going to function better. And then you'll be able to see this child grow up and be healthy and well from day one.
Let's talk about things you've noticed. You've practiced for many years, both of you. Things you've noticed that would compare a child who gets adjusted from day one and compared to the typical experience that so many of the kids out there have, the experience of life. let's go into that. You know, what are the things that you never see in your own kids?
Well, there are so many examples.
Or
and
you
it's
do
always,
see.
Oh, you do see. There's so many examples, and it's always so amazing because now we really live a lifestyle that's centered on wellness. And when you see people not live that or not even know that that is possible, you see a very different experience. We had a neighbor who had brought their child home, and it was a few months old and was having very bad, they had changes where they actually had swelling, inflammation, and hydrocephalus, and swollen, and also ear infections going on. And we didn't know anything about it. It's our neighbor. They were not patients, and they, unfortunately, but they called us and said, you know, we know you're chiropractors. He has this going on. Could you do anything? And it was a Sunday morning. We said, well, bring him over to the house. Let's check him. And we adjusted the baby, and you could literally see what's taking some pressure off the atlas. Their swelling go down in their head. You could see the swelling in the head actually go down after a few adjustments. The baby was colicky, couldn't sleep. The mother was just being driven crazy by that, and they were so grateful. However, no doctor told them, let's look at the child's spine. For me as a child, no one said that time, let's look at their spine. They gave me 12 rounds of antibiotics over 24 months. We have people that, on the reverse end of that, we've had people that have come from the hospital after delivering their child right to our office before going home to bring and get their child checked. And that's really ideal. You know, the bigger part of that is you mentioned transformation. Health, we tend to think about the ear infections, we tend to think about the sicknesses and symptoms, because that's our indoctrination to healthcare. That's disease care. We want to see symptoms go away. But really, health, well-being, wellness is a whole encompassing of your quality of life. I know for myself as a child, the allergies going away, that was a big thing, and that was exciting. And it was exciting enough for my mom because she was desperate, and to see her child's health change, for her to change careers. However, I also played Little League. I grew up in the Bronx, in New York, and I was the sick kid in the class, as I said. Now, if you were the sick kid in the class, what position do you think I tended to play in Little League?
Oh, you were picked last.
I was picked last, and I was pretty much on the bench. I was going to this chiropractor, and he said something brilliant, which was, he said, those symptoms that you develop, those are the last thing to show up and the first thing to go away. We really have to get your body healthier. So I kept going at that point, and my mom dragged me. However, when I was playing baseball, that first season, after having the ear infections the allergies go away, I was up to bat, and I never hit the ball. And I hit the ball over the fence that the bigger kids hit the ball over. And it was like one of those Disney moments where everybody started jumping and shouting, but it was kind of slow motion. I stood there at the plate. I didn't know I was supposed to run because I never hit the ball. And everybody's yelling, run. So I got a home run. That year, I was in the all-star team. Now, I want you to understand, the transformation wasn't just the allergies, but my state of self-worth. My state of being changed from being the sick kid in the class that played the bench to someone that can be on the all-star team because they were performing better. That's what happens to people when their body works right and they have a clear nerve system. Their potentiality for every aspect of their health is actually really touched, not just whether they have a symptom go away. And that's why we want to maximize the well-being of our bodies at all times.
So